Hello, the internet. Welcome to another exciting episode of the Adventures of Dr. Dropkick. I'm your titular host, Dr. Dropkick, and we're back with Fabled Lands, the story of Torgrim the warrior as he adventures across the lands of Harkuna and beyond. When we last left off, Torgrim had some real trouble with stinging things. A couple of insects really ruined his day, and we tried to make a go at these scorpion men. But it turns out they're overwhelming a little bit, so we're not quite there yet. We did hear a rumor that they are weak to fire, so our goal right now is to try to find fire. During our last quest as well, we visited the Lake of the Yellow or the Sulphur Dragon here. We didn't really do much, we just sort of passed on through. And we visited the Blessed Springs, and we fought a Gorlock there, which gave us quite a bit of money that we then spent on some fantastic upgrades for Torgrim. So, what our plan today is, we're going to head back to Marlock City to see if we can find some fire there to go and fight the Scorpion Men with. And if we can't, we'll just sort of head north and see what else is there until eventually we find fire and we come back here. So Torgrim is currently in Yellowport, so we're going to head to Shadar Tor, and we're just going to kind of skip right across to Marlock City, okay? In we go. You are on the cobbled road between Yellowport and Marlock City. It is well kept by the Sakaran military. You spot a man up ahead, striding towards you. Suddenly, 5 or 6 bandits appear from the wayside to assault him. The lone figure executes a series of movements almost faster than the eye can see, and you see his sword flashing in the sun. Moments later, the bandits are all lying dead or dying around him. You stop to compliment him on his swordsmanship. The man, a grizzled veteran of many campaigns, regards you with steely grey eyes and says, "I've learned much of the art of war in my time. It's true." Impressed by his skill and demeanor, you venture to ask him to teach you some of these arts. He looks you up and down, with a critical eye. Make a combat roll. Now, it automatically made the combat roll for us, because our combat is 8, and the difficulty was 9, so it's impossible for us to fail, so it was auto success. Don't even bother rolling. He seems to see something he approves of, because he says, "Perhaps, but first, you must prove yourself. There is a knight, a man of great evil. He is known as the Black Dragon Knight. Defeat him in battle, and I will teach you. Bring me back his Black Dragon shield, as proof of your valor." With that, he turns and walks away. "But how will I find him? And then how will I find you?" you cry. "Would you have me kill him for you as well?" he asks over his shoulder. "As for the second task, ask for me in the Blue Griffin Tavern in Karimbaru. My name is Yanrit the Sun." Alright, cool. So that's that off, or on the list, I should say. Nothing's been taken off the list, so we have to go find a Black Dragon Knight to prove how cool we are. We can do that. You come to the top of a windswept cliff. An ancient pillar of jumbled rock, pitted and weather-beaten, stands at the cliff's edge, like a broken finger pointing at the sky. Seagulls sing their songs of desolation in the air. Judging by the runes etched into the rock, the Tor dates back to the time of the Shadar, a race that ruled Harkuna so long ago they are lost in myth and legend. Let's have a look. You take a closer look at the runes. Make a magic roll. Uh-oh. Okay, so our magic is 3. We have to get 11, so we need to roll a 9 or better. We rolled a 7. Nope, failed. The runes mean nothing to you. Yeah, checks out. Alright, let's head down to the beach. You climb down a narrow track to the beach. The sea pounds the rocky shore, and the spray lashes your face. A mournful, yet utterly captivating singing suddenly fills your ears. You look out to sea, and spot several mermaids and mermen cavorting in the surf. "Come, come to us," one of them calls in a lilting voice that fills you with a yearning desire to plunge into the sea and swim out to them. A sanctity roll. Our sanctity is 5, and we have to get a 10, so we just need to roll a 6 or higher. Okay, we got an 8. We're good there. "How can I come out to you? I would drown in the sea. Is that what you plan?" you ask angrily. "Don't you know," sighs one of them, The kiss of the merfolk gives the power to breathe the waters to one of your kind for a short time. The others laugh mischievously. We have no reason to go into the water. We need fire, not water, and we're weighed down by all this equipment. I don't trust this at all. We're going to walk away. Now you come to the top. Okay, we're going to continue along the road. I do not trust those mer people to have my best interests in mind at the moment. Marlock City is a huge, sprawling metropolis, enclosed in a fortified wall, said to have been built 1,000 years ago by the ancient Shadar Empire. It is the capital city of Sokara. Marlock City was once known as Sokar, until the general Grieve Marlock led the army in a bloody revolt against the old king, Corin VII, and had them executed. The general renamed the city after himself. It is now a crime to call it Sokar. The general lives in the old king's palace and calls himself the protector general of all of Sokara. Whereas the old king was corrupt, this general rules with a fist of iron. Some people like the new regime. Others are royalists, still royal to Nergan, the heir to the throne, who has gone into hiding somewhere. Outside the city gates hang the bodies of many dead people. Labels around their necks read rebels, executed by the state for the good of the people.
You'd best behave yourself if you don't want to end up like one of them,
grates a guardsman, nodding towards the swinging corpses as you pass through the great eagle-headed gates of Marlock City. Alright, so we're here specifically to visit a merchant, to see if we can get something fiery that we can maybe use. Amber Wand. No, that just boosts our magic. Cleansing Flame. Oh, that's a spell. Okay, that's not... No, it doesn't look like he sells a whole lot here. Or buys, or sells or buys, or sells or buys. He's not looking to buy. He's not looking to sell. Hang on. He's not looking to sell fire stuff. Okay, he does sell a healing potion, which might be good to buy, because we don't have one. So we are actually going to spend the shards on that. Okay, Merchants Guild, Trade Guild. Let's check in our investments to find how well you're in. We have currently 50 shards invested. Let's roll some dice. 5. Lose 50%. Excellent. Okay, so let's head on out of here, and we're basically going to go north because we've sort of done. It's tough to show, right? Because it doesn't highlight beyond our immediate reach. But we've just sort of done like this triangle here, encompassing the sort of lower left to upper right to lower right. So we haven't really gone upper left, and there's quite a ways north that we haven't gone. We haven't passed over this mountain range yet. So let's head to the Cursed Moor, or maybe even the river mouth, and see what we can find here. Cursed Moor. You are trekking across the aptly named Cursed Moor. A great rolling expanse of blasted heath stretches before you. Gray clouds hang over a mournful, dirty water-colored plain, studded with rocky outcrops and low hills. A raven flutters to the ground nearby, eyeing you curiously. His brothers call loudly into the echoing sky. Dusk falls, and in the dim twilight, a herd of horses comes streaking out of the night straight at you. As they near, it seems to you that their hooves are not touching the ground, and from their manes trail wispy clouds of sparks, like tiny stars. We can either get out of the way or mount one. Again, Torgrim he fears sorcery, he fears the unknown. What he does trust is steel, so he's going to get right out of these horses' way. The horses rush past you. They seem to gallop through the air, whinnying and neighing, bellowing at the twilight sky. They soon disappear from your sight. You make camp, and the next day, continue your journey. That sounds like something a wizard would be interested in, but we're not doing that. Oh, Devil's Peak? The River Grim? Let's head to Devil's Peak. Let's kind of make our way up towards this fortress here, I think. You are crossing the western wilderness, an expansive, wild, sparsely populated countryside. A few trappers and woodsmen make a living from the natural resources in the area. A tall spire of rock, a towering anomaly of geography, rises up into the clouds, dominating the horizon. A local hunter tells you it's known as Devil's Peak, and that the summit is infested with demons. Demons? Let's go check out some demons. We can fight a demon. Weird ghost horse? No. But demons? They die. Let's climb the peak. You are standing at the bottom of Devil's Peak. It is a massive tower of black rock, like a stone tree trunk, bare and branchless, climbing up into the sky. You cannot see the top, for it is shrouded in grey clouds. Thunder and lightning play about the clouded summit. The sides of the peak are almost sheer, but there are many hand and footholds. It can be climbed, but only if you have some climbing gear. Well, we don't, so we cannot do that. But I'm going to add that to my notes here. Devil's Peak need climbing gear. Got it. Cool. Okay. Alright, well, let's head to the Road Tavern real quick. Stop in, have a brewski, you know. You join the much-traveled road that connects Trefoil and Karimbaru. The traffic mostly consists of convoys of troops and supplies. Eventually, you come to the Wary Pilgrim Tavern, a way station between the cities. Okay, let's buy drinks and see what we can find. A trader from the far north tells a story about a great wizard, Targdaz the Magnificent, who is tricked by a shaman of the Horde of the Thousand Winds in the Great Steppes. He imprisoned Targdaz inside a giant ruby and proceeded to loot Tardaz's tower. But in his stupidity, he opened the great wizard's casket of imponderables and unleashed a terrible storm that swept across the steppes, scattering many of the tribes far and wide. The shaman was killed, of course, but as far as anyone knows, Tardaz is still trapped in the ruby, waiting patiently for release. Perhaps for another 100 years. Who knows? One thing's for certain, it won't be me trying to get him out. There's not much to hear. Interesting. Okay. This is why you don't play around with sorcery. Alright, main road. The road is nearly blocked by wagons and supply convoys. A troop of soldiers forces its way through the throng. The men bang heads indiscriminately to clear people out of your way. Alright, let's test our luck. 3. Nothing happens. Alright, good talk. So we can go to the countryside. Or we haven't been in the forest, but no, we're going to go north to Karimbaru. We're going to head into the city. Karimbaru is a medium-sized town that acts as a way station between the citadel to the north and the rich towns of the south. It is a garrison town. Many supplies, arms, and soldiers move through Karimbaru on the north-south trail. Shops, temples, traders, and the like have sprung up here to serve the needs of the military. There is also a sizable mining community, for the mines of Saqqara lie in the Bronze Hills just outside town, and a slave market where poor unfortunates sold into slavery are bought for work in the mines. The Karimbaru market consists of several covered arcades. Much of its stock is for minerals and soldiers, and it is run with a business-like efficiency by the Saqqara military. Okay, so let's check the market. Oh, they sell plate armor here, way out of our budget, but anything else interesting? Not really. Brawler. Okay, teaches a new skill. Yeah, there's not much for us here. Okay. Any new temples? No. Let's visit the inn. The Blue Griffin Tavern is frequented by soldiers and mercenaries. Okay. We're gonna ask about Yarant the Sun while we're here. You ask the innkeeper about Yarant the Sun. He looks at you oddly, clearly unsettled by your question. Some say he's the god of a mortal woman and the god Tianai, but he has not been here for some time. Suddenly, he stops and stares in amazement at the corner of the tavern. You turn, look, and there, hunched over a stoop of ale, is Yarant the Sun. He greets you. Hello! We don't have the shield, so...
Still haven't found him, he says. Did you try the castle of Dragon Knights to the west of the Bronze Hills?
As he turns and leaves, he says, "Well, you have better tidings. I will return here." You follow him, but he's nowhere to be seen. Alright. Let's buy, while we're here, let's buy some drinks and look for rumors. Oh, Bronze Hills. The Bronze Hills. Let's check this world map here. Yeah, so according to the map here, that's even given me a quest marker. There is a castle right there. Oh, and there are the Bronze Hills. Perfect. Okay, cool. Sorry, so back into it here. You hear an interesting story about one of Baroness Ravine's knights in Golnir. Apparently, he is plotting against her.
Intrigue and treachery in the court of the Baroness,
mutters a man before his voice fades to a whisper. There's not much else to hear. Alright, let's explore. You walk the dusty streets of the garrison city in search of the only option is the slave market. The slave market is a large, canvas-covered square. The poor unfortunate slaves, people from all over Harkuna, from the Feathered Lands, Golnir, criminals of Sokkara, nomads from the steppes are paraded in chains on a dais. Merchants and nobles bid for slaves they want. An unusual sale has come up, a little furry bat-winged humanoid. It is one of the mannequin people from Sky Mountain in the north and is going for 50 shards. We can't afford that, we only have 37, so... Okay, well, because we lost all that money in the stupid stock market, let's go to the Bronze Hills, and then from there we can keep going west to the tower and see if we can find this Black Knight. You are walking through the Bronze Hills. Virtually this whole area has been given over to mining. Everywhere quarry and mine shafts abound. It is a horrible expanse of torn up earth. Hardly any areas of green are left. Great heaps of excavated rock, leached of their useful minerals, mar the landscape. You find a quarry that is open to the public. That is to say, if you pay 50 shards, you can dig for an hour in their silver mine. Again, can't afford it. We're broke. Stupid investments. Let's head to the Dragon Knight's castle. I'm sure they'll be very welcoming of me. You are wandering across the wilderness of northwestern Sokkara. There is a magnificent castle nearby, with many different pennants flying from its towers. As you draw near, you see that the pennants all represent different colored dragons. The red dragon, the black dragon, the green dragon, and so on. Outside the gates, a jousting list has been set up, and a few warriors are trying their hand against some knights who have dragon symbols on their shields. A knight, in full plate armor, rides up and says,
"Welcome to the castle of the Dragon Knights." Oh, hang on, it's going to open my visor.
Welcome to the castle of the Dragon Knights. It is our custom to joust against all who would come here, for a wager, of course. He explains that you must bet the weapon and the suit of the armor that you will use for the joust. If you lose, you forfeit the weapon and the armor. If you win, you gain the armor and weapon of the knight you defeat. Most of your opponents you notice, would be using sword and plate armor. Ah, that's tempting, but our combat is very high. 8, I think the top tier is 12, so we are 8 out of 12. What we're going to do, we're going to equip just a regular axe. We're going to try to game this a little bit. Yes, we could lose our chainmail, but then we would just lose this like loser axe. We'd still keep our great axe, which is pretty good. Alright, let's do it. Take the wager and joust. Decide which weapon and armor you will be used in the fight. These are the ones you are betting with. Because it is not a fight to the death, your weapons are padded, so even if you drop the stamina 0... Oh, it's just like a fight-ass fight. Alright, hang on. That's it, we're gonna kick this guy's stupid butt.
Fight!
Alright, so we've got 4 knights here. Okay, blocks the path. So I'm thinking we can probably hide up in this corner here and at least reduce, or we could block them up here. I think that's the way to go. Although that is crossable. Alright, and first off, switch weapons. Let's get our bow out. And then 4 action points. 100% hit chance on this green knight here. He's got 10 hit points. We're going to draw back the bow till our arm is quivering with the tension and fly. Solid hit for 3 damage. Now we have 1 action point. How fast are you guys? Does not say. They have 4 action points though, so they're going to be able to move pretty far. I'm going to back up into this corner. Oh, I can't. Well, okay. Oh, yeah, okay, perfect. Great. Okay, let's let fly again. Aha! Great. Alright, Green Dragon Knight only has 3 hit points left. We're going to swap back to our axe and shield. It's crumpin' time, boys. Alright, Green Knight is here. Hello, friend. I'm going to use 3 of my 6 action points to... actually, I'm going to use my tactical assessment first. Gives me +1 damage on everything. Then, we're going to swing at him with the axe. Bonk! 1 dead... Sorry, unconscious Green Knight. Alright, now here comes the Blue Dragon Knight with that dope sword. Look at him. He's cool. Alright. We're going to hit him with the... Actually, we're going to sprint across here, and we're going to hit the Red Knight with the Stunning Blow. Try to keep them separated as best as we can. Bonk. Good. Okay. Yeah, okay, that's the turn. That was 2 damage to the Red Dragon Knight. Alright, now we're going to take a swing at the Red Dragon Knight. Knock him down to 4. And then we're going to take a swing at him again, because we could kill him. Perfect, that's 1 more dead Dragon Knight. Great, so now it's just the Blue Dragon Knight. He takes a swing at me and he misses. Ducking deftly to the side, Torgrim reverses the grip upon his axe and slams into the Blue Dragon Knight for 5 of his 6 hit points. The Blue Dragon Knight stumbles down to the ground upon one knee and raises his shield to defend. Taking a swing at Torgrim from below the shield, Torgrim is not able to leap aside and takes a blow to the knees. But still standing, Torgrim turns back and swings, bringing the Blue Knight low. Torgrim is victorious. The Dragon Knights are impressed with your combat skills. Your opponents come round, ruefully rubbing their necks. Grudgingly, they admit to be your superior skill, and one of the knights hands you his ordinary sword and a suit of plate armor. Cool, don't forget to take them. Great, we're going to put that plate armor on now. Defense +5, yeah, it's 2 steps higher than... Yeah, it's 2 steps higher than my current one, so absolutely, let's put that on. Alright. Make move. Back here. No, I guess maybe I have to leave and come back to trigger the Black Knight. Hang on. Yep, back we go. Leave. Seek the Black Dragon Knight. You are looking for the Black Dragon Knight on a quest set to you by Yanret the Sun. You ask the knight if he's here.
The Black Dragon Knight? Oh, shit,
The Black Dragon Knight? Yes, he is, replies one of them. But he fights only to the death. There is no wager save the greatest for them all. That is to say, life itself. You know what? I'm going to cheat a little bit here. I'm going to create a save. I don't like doing this, but... There we go. Alright, let's fight this guy. The Black Dragon Knight comes out to meet you. His armor is of black steel, and you think you can see glowing red eyes through the slits in his full-face helm. You must fight him. He's a nerd. Oh, he's got a lot of stuff to get around. There he is. He's got 15 hit points. Alright, well, let's give him the old Daka here. Once again, the bow comes out. Torgrim notches an arrow, stretches back, and lets fly. Soaring through the air, the arrow bounces off the knight's armor, but still enough to dent a plate in and cause a bruise for 2 damage. The knight comes closer. Torgrim backs up a step, draws another arrow from the quiver, and lets fly. 3 damage caused to the knight as it embeds itself into the meat of his thigh. The knight continues his approach. Torgrim deftly drops the bow, draws forth the axe and shield. He doesn't actually have a shield, it's a great axe. Draws forth his great axe and charges the knight, smashing him aside and stunning him. The knight, dazed, struggles to get back to his feet. Torgrim lifts the axe on high and swings it down in a crushing blow against his back. 3 additional damage, smashing the knight back down to the ground.
The Dark Knight rolls off to the side and lunges forward back up to his feet, his shield smashing Torgrim aside for 2 damage. Torgrim, dazed but still standing, swings back with the blade of his axe, smashing in for 4 damage. And again, for 4 more damage, the axe shattering through the shield and the arm, embedding itself in the knight's chest. Torgrim is victorious.
The other knights are amazed by your skill, and they seem quite pleased that the Black Dragon Knight is dead.
He was an evil man,
says the Green Dragon Knight. You take the Black Dragon Shield. Okay. I mean, that is a shield, but we don't use shields. Shields are for, like, losers. Alright, let's head on back to Karimbaru. Alright, so we're back here in Karimbaru, and we're going to go talk to Yanrit the Sun. Give him the Black Dragon Shield. You hand him the Black Dragon Shield.
You are indeed worthy,
he says. And you will teach me your fighting arts? You ask.
You've already learned all I can teach you. You just hit them. You just hit them really hard.
You realize what he says is true. Your defeat of the Black Dragon Knight has taught you much. You gained 1 rank. Hey, so this is like the level up system. There is an experience, but certain feats will gain you ranks that will bump up your stats. So my maximum stamina has now been increased permanently by 2. So instead of 12 hit points, we now have 14. And we've gained a new skill. Okay. Archery. That's additional damage with crossbows and slings. Or additional offense with crossbows and slings. Books and scrolls. Oh, that's swords. So this gives us varying bonuses depending on the type of weapon we're using. Combat skills is an extra defense. I'm thinking weapon mastery. Because while we're using an axe, we'll have a 40% crit chance. Do we have any crit chance right now? Crit chance is 3. 3%. So this would take us up to, if I'm reading this right, I'm assuming it stacks on top of 3, and it's not 40% of 3. So let's take that. Alright. Your gain in rank has taught you much. You feel tougher, luckier, and generally better able to deal with trouble. You look up, but Yanrit the Sun has gone. Alright. Well, let's read this real quick. Learn. Okay. I have the axe equipped, so I'm going to assume that that's helped me. It still says my critical chance is 3, but I'm just going to sort of assume we're good there. If I equip a sword, it just says no bonus. I'm just going to assume that worked. Oh, we do have a resurrection deal. Interesting. I guess I must have just generated one when we started the game, because I definitely didn't pay for that. All right. Okay. Well, you didn't get any money out of that, unfortunately. Okay, let's head out. We could go to Cold Bleak Mountains, the farmlands, the northern roads. The Bronze Hill doesn't really hold too much for us. Let's head to Cold Bleak. Seems like the kind of place you'd find fire. Maybe. The Cold Bleak Mountains look as inhospitable and forbidding as their name implies, their frozen flanks climbing high into the icy clouds. Well, up we go, climb into the mountains. Again, we don't have climbing gear. It is a tough climb upwards, but not impossible. So our options are have some climbing gear, which we don't, or climb up the old-fashioned way. You decide to give it a shot and test your rock climbing skills. We're making a scouting roll. We have scouting 4. Difficulty is 10, so we need a 7 or higher. Oh, yeah, we rolled an 11. Hell yeah. You clamber up until you come to a mountain track. It rises up between a cleft in the rocks ahead of you. A man steps out in front of you. He is clearly a soldier, but his clothes are rough and ready. It is as if he has been living in the wild for some time. A deserter, perhaps. We can talk to him or attack. Let's just talk. Oh, boy.
Who is the rightful ruler of Sakara? General Grave Marlock or the son of the old king, Nargan Korin? Asks the soldier.
Alright, so. Hang on. This is an interesting one. So we have this dude here who's living in the mountains. He's a soldier, but he's looking all scrofulous. Right? Grieve Marlock was the one who executed the old king in a military coup, and Nargan Korin is the rightful heir. I think this soldier is a supporter of the sun. Everything about this feels like this dude is not part of the current ruling group. So we're going to say Nargan Korin, the sun.
That's fortunate for you,
says the soldier. Several archers stand up from their hiding place behind the rocks overhead. Another soldier, a captain, comes up to you and introduces himself as Captain Vorkung. He is clearly one of the old aristocracy, the nobles loyal to the king and the old regime before General Marlock and the army seized power and executed the old king. Vorkung tells you to leave the mountains. You have found a rebel base, men still loyal to Nargan Korin, the heir of the throne. Nargan went into hiding when General Marlock killed his father and took control. We could just leave, but you know what? This could be a chance for money. What could be more generous than a king who has been returned to his throne, perhaps? Let's convince Captain Vorkung that you are on his side. We are just basically a wandering mercenary for hire here. We like hitting things with swords. It's what we're good at. And again, what could be a better potential patron than a disposed king who needs swords for hire? Ah, it's a charisma roll. Alright, so we have charisma 5. Turns out we are quite handsome. And the goal is 9. So as long as we roll a 5 or higher, we are good. Bam, again an 11. We really convinced him. Captain Vorkung is impressed by your claims of loyalty to the rightful king. He decides you might be useful to their cause. You are led, blindfolded, through a secret passage to a mountain stockade. King Nargan gives you an audience in a makeshift throne room. He is a young and handsome man who seems committed to his country. He leads you aside into a private chamber. I have need of one such as you, he says. Yellowport groans under the yoke of Governor Marlowe's Morlock, the brother of General Grieve Marlock. If you can get into the palace at Yellowport and assassinate Marlowe's, I'd be eternally grateful. Oh, hey, giant barbarian man. If you could just casually get into the palace and assassinate my opponent, super helpful. Wow, that would be great. I mean, I guess we'll accept. Very well, says Nargan and smiles. When you are ready, the king wishes you well and leads you out of the stockade, back down the footholds of the cold, bleak mountain. Alright, cool. Yeah, I don't know about that one, buddy. Good luck. At some point, I might... Can I have 13 shards, maybe? Get me up to 50? At some point, we might... Who knows, man. Let's head to the farmlands. You are crossing an era of fertile farmland, where much of the food is grown to feed the army. Little farmsteads dot the landscape, and the plowed fields have the appearance of a patchwork quilt. Test your luck. Ding, 5. Find an item? Hell yeah. Found some leather armor? Great. Where? Alright, let's head to... Oh, there's like a series of forts along here. Fort Marith, Fort Esgard, and another one. What is this place? Nerech. Eastern Marches. Okay. Well, let's go check it out. Fort Esgard. Fort Esgard is one of 3 forts along the wall that runs right along the border. Their purpose is to defend Sakara against the ravaging man-beasts of Nerech, which are constantly trying to break through to raid the interior. The commander of the fort desperately wants to see you. My daughter, Alyssa, has been kidnapped by the man-beasts, he says. They're asking that I let one of their raiding parties through to attack the farmlands. I'm delaying my response as long as possible. If I don't do something soon, they will kill her. Please, I need a brave adventurer to rescue her. Sounds like you need a strong axe arm and a strong jawline. My friend, I'm your man. We will accept. So we can head into Nerech. We can also check out the other forts. But let's go rescue this daughter. There's a maiden in need of saving, and wandering around the countryside ain't gonna save her. You ask the guards of the gate to let you through into Nerech. As the gates swing open, a priest of Nagel, the god of death, steps forward and leads last rites over you. "I'm not dead yet," you shout, shoving the priest hard in the chest. "As good as," he mutters, between the chants of the rites. In we go. Nerech is a barren peninsula of wind-blasted rolling heathland. The sky is a dismal grey. A lone crow circles overhead, cawing mournfully. Wild cliffs overlook the sea. Inland, you see a tall hill in the distance. So we can go back. We can head down to the shoreline, or we can head uphill. Let's go uphill. As you draw nearer to the hill, something steps into your path. It looks like a man, but its limbs are strangely twisted, and its hands end in long black talons. It is covered in matted gray fur and wears little except an ornate iron helm, fashioned to resemble the head of a bird, that covers its head completely. So it's just dangling free? Got it. 2 red specks glint from within the helm. The man-beast howls at the sky and comes for you. Okay. There's an option to pull the man-beast's helmet over your head. Maybe we already have one, but it says we won't wear it or you don't have one. So the man-beast closes in. Another one just like it appears out of nowhere. You must fight them. Oh, we're running low on arrows. We should buy some more arrows, I think. Okay, cool. So... Oh, weapon mastery is a skill. It's not like a bonus. Oh, okay, cool. Alright, let's shoot a man in the face here. Look at these guys. Ew, they're weird. Okay, 10 hit points each. We have a nice rock here that we can hide behind as needed. Alright, once again, let fly with your arrows, Torgrim. I don't even know how many you have. Not enough, I don't think. Fire away! 4 damage to 1 man-beast, okay? Don't have enough to shoot again, so we will end the turn. Here they come. Let's keep firing at the same man-beast here. He's at 60% health. Boop. Another 2 damage. Okay, so now he's at 4 hit points. And I'm going to step back a square. It's going to buy us an extra shot here. I'm going to use my tactical... Oh, if I do that, I won't be able to shoot. That's the problem. But maybe we can kill this one man-beast off completely. Yep, there we go. Shot him to death. 3 arrows jutting out of his chest. Now we're going to swap weapons to our mighty axe. There it goes. Okay, so the weapon mastery is now kicked in. I see it up here. So this is going to give us 40% crit hit chance with the axe. We're going to start by stunning blow him. And that's our turn. And then we're going to hit him with our axe for 3. Good. Hit him again. He's down to 2 hit points and stunned. He hasn't even had a turn yet. Takes a swing at me and does hit me for 2. We're going to swing back and just absolutely take his head off his shoulder. Leading to victory. Okay, so the man-beast collapses. Beasts. Their bodies begin to smoke and burn, and then suddenly vaporize in a flash of incandescent flame. All that's left are their bird helms, so we'll take a bird helm. We don't even have a helmet. I'm going to put the helmet on. You raise the man-beast's helmet above your head. Who knows? Perhaps the wretched creatures are stupid enough to be deceived by mere appearances. So this is a sanctity roll. We have sanctity 5. We have to get 11. So we need to roll a 7 or better. 5. As you slip the helmet over your head, dozens more of the man-beasts appear on the scene. But by then, your vision blurs and your head begins to pound. The helmet is doing something to your mind, and it hurts! Oh no, we have magic of 3 and we have to beat a 14. We need to roll a 12. Uh-oh, 7. You try to wrest it off your head, but the cursed thing has attached itself to you somehow. Tendrils of something horrible extrude themselves inside the helmet and bore into the skull. Yeah, we're gonna load from here. Oh, I can't. Oh, but if I load, because this will kill me, right? This will kill me dead. I could load the campaign, but no, we should just accept that it's going to kill us. I have to play this like I said I was going to. An unfortunate end to your adventures. However, since you arranged a resurrection deal, you do not fear death, as you know you will be magically restored to life at the Temple of Nagil in Marlock City. Oh, your stamina is back to normal score. Your possessions and cash are lost. Alright. Oh, that's rough. And we're back here at the Isle of the Druids? Okay. Okay. Great. Well, friends, I think that's going to end it for us for today. Oh, we still have our axe. Good. Okay, we still have our axe and our bow and our plate armor. That's good. So we've lost our shards. We've lost all of our gear down here, which does suck. But hey, man, that's life. That's life, baby. Alright, so we are back here at the Isle of the Druids. The trading post is a small village, set up here by enterprising settlers from the mainland. Its main export appears to be furs from the forest. The mayor, a fat, genial fellow who greets you personally, insists that one day the trading post will be a thriving town. There is not a lot here yet. However, a small market, a quay, the settlers' houses, and a shrine to Lacuna the Huntress, goddess of nature. Wow, we could go to the market and buy nothing. We could go to the temple and not get a resurrection deal. Oh no! Oh, that's brutal. I did consider loading the save. I really did. And you know what? I have to accept that I put on the helmet I shouldn't have. I thought it was a cool hat, and it turns out the helmet was just pure evil. So, that lady still needs to be rescued, and we're down here on the Isle of Druids, and we have nothing. We have no cash, no healing potions, no gear. I mean, we have our weapons, right? We still have our bow and arrow. We have our axe and our armor, which is great, but, whew. So probably what we'll do... I mean, this is a good opportunity to explore the Isle of Druids, I suppose. Or we can just pop back into the Obsidian Zones and just teleport back to, like, Yellowport. And then go assassinate a general. What an adventure. And now you've kind of learned just how cruel Fabled Lands can be if you're not careful. We are not going to reload that save. There's that part of me that wants to, like, cheese it, but I'm not going to. I have to accept that this is what's happened, my friends. Shame. It's a shame, but oh well. Hey, friends. Have yourselves a wonderful rest of the day. Thanks for hanging out with me here in the Fabled Lands. When we return to the Fabled Lands next week, what we'll do is we'll head into the Obsidian Stones. We will teleport back to Yellowport, and we'll continue on our adventures. We have no money. Actually, maybe we won't head to the Obsidian Stones. Like I said, maybe we'll check around the Isle of the Druids first, see if we can maybe make a bit of money, explore around here, see what some options look like. And then we'll head back to the mainland and go from there. Who knows where the adventures of Torgrim will take us. Today it took us to death and life. Friends, thanks for hanging out. I really appreciate you being here. Don't forget that there are streams on Tuesdays. And then we also have videos on Thursdays and Saturdays as well. So there's a whole week of content coming out this way for you, my friends. I love you all very much. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your Sunday. And I will see you on the next adventure. There we go. We overrode it. There's no going back now, my friends. Bye.